Hello, beautiful Scorpio friends. I am so excited to explore this April with you through the lens of Scorpio energy. I appreciate your vantage point and your energy so much. And April is one of the most important elements of April. I'm noticing the more I sit with it and explore the energies, healing. This is a time where we are all taking the responsibility of healing our wounds, our traumas, our places where we get triggered. And of course, this is a lifetime practice, right? I am on the healing journey, and I know this isn't something like, April, we're going to heal, and then we'll just move on and we'll never do it again. We're always in the process of tending to and caring for and nurturing ourselves. But this Aries season, this Taurus season, both are going to be times of really, really getting intentional and committed to taking care of the parts of ourselves that have been wounded, frazzled, whether that's way in the past when you were a kid or recently you've been through some traumas. Life offers us up so many times when our physical bodies and our spirits go through intense experiences. But I just want to bring that up right away. This is Aries season. It is playful, it is creative, it is visionary, it is fun. There is a fun element to all of it. But this is an Aries season that also says in order to get to the fun, we also want to make sure we're taking care of our nervous systems. We want to take care of the parts of ourselves that are worried, afraid, all of that. And it's so important. And for you, Scorpio, this is going to be one of the major themes of, well, really the whole time South Node is in your sign, but also of Aries and Taurus season this year. We have Sun and Mercury moving through Aries. This is 6th house energy for you. So this is about healing your nervous system and connecting with your nervous system and how you take care of your physical body and what that looks like. What are the rituals? What are the routines? And what is your connection with that? So this is going to be really powerful for that. We also have tons of energy this Aries season moving through Pisces. Venus, Mars, Neptune, Jupiter are all still in Pisces during this Aries season, which is great for Scorpios. This is so mystical, watery, intuitive wisdom. This also, though, with the emphasis on Piscean energy, means that we're doing a ton of work behind the scenes in the hidden, unseen realm within ourselves, within our energetic bodies. And this is part of the reason that it is going to be such an emphasis on healing. This month also ends, we get into Taurus season, into mirror season for Scorpios. And I just say that because when there's energy moving through your opposing sign of Taurus, this is a time where you're also kind of deepening relationships, understanding yourself from new perspectives, and having deep conversations, both with yourself and with those closest to you. And this is a really great time to just kind of like check in with your process, where you are in your year, where you are in your life. How is it feeling? How are you connecting? How are you committing? And Taurus season is going to be doing that work with you. We also end the month with your ruling planet beginning its 5-month retrograde on April 29th and a new moon solar eclipse in Taurus on April 30th. So the end of the month too is very tied to Scorpio in your transformation and in your healing journey. So while in some ways this month is so much about the play and joy of just the energy of April. April is such a playful, curious month. It's also a month of transformation and deep healing. And in fact, the message that came up for you, for me, is about healing your inner child and taking care of the part of you that wants to keep you safe, wants to keep you hidden. And this can look different ways. One thing I've noticed about Scorpios, you're very good at being chameleons. You can be these sparkly, funny, magnetic people. That's very easy for you, I feel like, in a way, that just like gets along with everybody. Like you can just be in a circle. You could also like change it up, like just depending on what the moods are. And I think that's very smart. I get it. Like It's a great way to not be hassled, to keep your core and your most sensitive parts safe. You're very perceptive as well, so you're able to do that. You're able to morph. But things like that, like the fact that you feel you need to be a chameleon, or maybe you need to make sure everybody's comfortable, or you need to constantly undercut your own needs. We all have our own way of protecting ourselves. Some of you may have a flight response or be avoidant. We each have our own things. And it's important to really sit with why we feel we need to, I'm just going to shuffle all day, aren't I? Two of Swords, why it is we feel we need to kind of hide our true selves, why we need to do things like be chameleons or hide out at home a lot, and I'm not saying these things are wrong. It's just that if we are feeling a little imprisoned by some of the things that we're doing to keep ourselves safe, it's a great time to reflect on that. And this month is all about this. This month is all about this. 8 of Swords. All right, Scorpio. We're going into the mind here, which is not surprising. 8 of Pentacles. Let's see. Final card. King of Pentacles. Wow. There's a lot happening here. I'm going to pull one card from my Animal Totem Tarot to round out our chat today. The Tower. Just a casual light card, In this deck, it's represented by the termite, which is in this piece of wood. So just want to clarify that. Okay. Don't worry about the Tower. Tower has such a reputation. And the more inflamed a reputation something has, the more I'm likely to reassess why that is. But anyway, let's get into this. I am feeling so many different things moving through right now. Okay, so we start off with Swords. And it's so funny, the longer I do this work, the longer I work with tarot, the longer I work with archetypes, the longer I work with healing, the more I love the sword suit, because it allows us to engage with and sit with and witness the part of ourselves that is so present and real and exists, that needs acknowledgement and love and needs to be heard. And the sword suit really gives us the opportunity to witness and explore these parts of ourselves. So you got the two blindfolded ladies of the tarot deck. They got a lot in common. They are sisters, but they have very different ways of feeling blinded. Two of Swords. This is an interesting one to show up. When this card shows up, it suggests to me that you may feel some pressure or some tension to force a result or a decision or a conclusion to happen, where it's like, I need to know what to do about this thing. I need to know how to act. I need to know how to move. I need to make it happen. But at the same time, it's very hard to get to that conclusion. It's very hard to come to a clear, and it can be very like, you're split in your mind. You just don't know how to weigh out what's what and what's right and who should I be and how should I be and which path should I take. And the Two of Swords, you have this moon in the background, you have this water behind you. This is all the intuitive wisdom that's waiting for you to hear it. And actually sitting down and not trying to solve or fix or pursue or make happen, and allowing just enough quiet space. And you got to give yourself, it can just be 5 minutes, but a lot of times it's like surrender and take a nap or go for a long walk. Stop trying to fix it and allow the intuitive wisdom to join you. So this month, it's going to be important not to force your results, not to force yourself into answers and conclusions, but to, when you feel that tension, relax, release, and just do something to take your mind off it and allow the intuitive wisdom to come and meet you. That's going to give you the truer answer. And it's going to be much easier and take a lot less of your fuel. rather than analyzing and constantly trying to weigh out the pros and cons. Now, Eight of Swords is a little different because this card almost always shows up before we're about to have a big breakthrough. And we're about to do something very different than what we've done. Right before we're about to break a pattern or we're about to do something brand new. And this card shows up, it's the part of ourselves that is so freaked out by the unknown. It's so freaked out by it doesn't know about things outside of this pattern. This is a self-preservative longing for the familiar part of ourselves. And Eight of Swords comes in here. It's a moment of doubt and feeling like there's no way out. I'm not allowed to move forward. I can't see the way. I don't feel allowed to exist the way I want to exist. I don't feel allowed to move through the world the way that I want to move through. And it's an illusion that we're stuck there forever, but it feels very real at the time that we're in here. Now, this is the part of ourselves that's often tied to that inner child. The thing that I mentioned in the note for Scorpios this month, that inner child that had something happen. And I know Scorpios, not all of you, obviously, I can't generalize about a whole group of people too much. I mean, a little bit, I have to do that a little bit in this work. But generally speaking, for me, what I've noticed with Scorpios is you come into the world so sensitive, like able to see and notice things and pick up on little things going on very quickly. And the adults around you are like, stop doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not real. You get taught to basically gaslight yourself into not trusting your intuitive wisdom, your ability to just know what's right for you and just flow with it. Scorpios often struggle with this deeply, and because of that, it's very easy to feel blinded at times when that little inner child that was told, nah, you can't tell what's good for you. You can't tell what you're feeling. You can't tell. You don't actually have that level of sensitivity. That part of you, I mean, like when it gets triggered, it can be very hard as an adult to trust yourself again. So what you're being asked to do here, Scorps, is come back to those gifts. And I like to practice doing this because I've had a similar experience in my life. I also happen to have a ton of energy in my 8th house and a ton of energy in Scorpio as well. So I get it. I like to practice this with small things, just little things, like in a morning routine. I will reconnect with like that knowing and that like natural innate ability to be able to read into things and understand what I need and how I need to feel about it and let myself be connected to it. So I think that's really important for you. It's also important to love on that little kid who was so confused about why they had to shut down parts of themselves to fit into culture and to be okay and to go to school and to make your parents comfortable or to make whoever else comfortable with you or to rebel. I'm sure some of you probably did the opposite thing where you rebelled and you said, no, I'm going to just burn this down if you're going to force me to not be myself. Whatever it is, Scorpio, we want you to come home and like bring that with you because you got some stuff to do. 8 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. These are proactive cards if I have ever seen them. The 8 of Pentacles like tagline is often the student becomes the master. So this is about a skill that has taken a long time to learn that you are now at a mastering level and you're being asked to share it. You are being asked to pursue it. You are being asked to step into the limelight with it. The King of Pentacles similarly is about the long game. You know, the investments we've made in our energy, our time, our skills, our wisdom, the things that have culminated for us that are becoming something that it's now time to give back to the world. So both of these are actually cards that speak to the big picture for Scorpio leading up to where we are here as we enter April. Your skills, your gifts, your abilities, your talents, your creative abilities to put out into the world. You are being asked to bring that harvest into full fruition at this time and not hold it back Even if you are healing that inner child that felt like they were disconnected from spirit or that they weren't allowed to be themselves, it's now time to come back. It's time to invest in this moment now. This is very grounded energy as well. This is great for your nervous system. This is great for kind of coming back into your body and being able to be here in the physical. There's a lot of help that wants to help you do that, to bridge between that spirit that might be a little bit more into another realm and have it be more comfortable here in the physical so that you can do things. Now, we do need to address the Tower. It is here. And like I said, in this deck, it is the termite that is representing the Tower. And transformation is a big part of this month with eclipse season beginning, with all the energy in your opposing sign of Taurus, including the North Node. With Pluto beginning its 5-month retrograde for the next, 5 months. This is a time where we are taking off the costumes that no longer fit. In fact, I don't always read from this book, but I'm going to this time because I think the Tower is just one of the coolest cards. I really love working with it, and I'm going to just read the little termite message to close out our chat today. Nothing in this world was ever meant to last, nor was it ever meant to be created instantly. Step by step, piece by piece is how we create the wonders that are our homes. Slowly but surely, we create something that is beneficial to all involved. Yet we understand the impermanence of all that comes from this harsh physical landscape. But just because something won't last doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. For really, all we ever have is the experience of the journey, not what our ego wants to leave behind. I think too, not everything, like, we are allowed to transform and transcend things like our trauma and our pain and our fears. And you are being asked to build something beautiful at this time. Different vibe of Tower, right, than the typical conversation around that energy. So I am going to be activating all this good stuff, including eclipse season, the full moon in Libra this month, working through April as we go, over on Patreon. I would love to see you there. We hang out every single week. It's a really great community. You can also find me on Instagram. There's only one true Sarah Vrba. There's a dupe out there. It keeps trying to mess with people, so we just gotta follow the one handle that I'll leave here. You can also find me on my website and my email if you want to get in touch with me at all. I would love it if you would like this video, subscribe if you're feeling it, leave a message in the comments. It really helps me. I know everybody says this stuff, like everybody on YouTube, like subscribe, but it really helps me keep being here. And also I like you and I would like you to be here, and that would be amazing. So you do what feels good for you, but I love you, Scorpios, so much. I hope you have a beautiful April. This was a big conversation, and I hope I kept it straight. I will talk to you next month. Have a beautiful beginning to Taurus season, eclipse season, and we'll be in touch.